Have I got a point?
I think you've got a point, Jack. Yeah.
There's an apple for you.
Oh, I can't tell you how much that works. That always works with me.
Thank you.
Oh, bless you, apple.
Starts with an apple, next thing you know, you're in some sort of therapy. Be careful.
Hey, what did Glaswegian women lose on their wedding night?
Oh,
A fight.
a fight with a Glaswegian man.
No,
A long battle against alcoholism.
It's, I mean, not necessarily Glaswegian, but, I mean...
Oh, they're chips.
In the past, it was a very traditional thing on your wedding to lose almost as a dowry, and the men would be given it as a 21st birthday present. It would be the loss of their...
Teeth.
Teeth is the right answer. Have them all out in one go, have a few days of eating milk and bread, and then have your dentures put in. It was considered a really good thing. It would save you all dentistry bills for the rest of your life.
My mother was offered this.
Was she?
My mother got offered this when she was a young woman. I think she was about 18. She was nursing in Limerick, I think. And she went in to see a dentist about a back tooth. Yeah. And he tried to convince her to have all her teeth taken out. He sort of went, well, you've got quite good teeth, but really, it's going to be expensive over the years.
That's
just,
exactly
you know what,
the
we've got an offer on, I will take all of these out, and we can just put in dentures, and dentures really are the future.
It does seem a bit odd. It does seem that the woman getting her teeth out on her wedding night is more of a present for the husband, really, doesn't it?
There are advantages, you might say, yes, absolutely, that there could be pleasurable outcomes. Stop it, babe. So...
You'd be very good on those sex chat lines.
Pleasurable outcome.
Would you like a pleasurable outcome with your little sexual bits?
Right, let's just return to the 19th century and think about false teeth. Now, what were false teeth made of in those days?
Wood.
Wood was used, supposedly.
Abraham Lincoln had wood
Washington,
false teeth.
Yes, indeed.
And he would fall asleep in Congress or wherever they sit. And they were sprung-loaded, these things, so if you relaxed your jaw, the spring would fire them out of your mouth.
That's absolutely right, they did.
Leap out.
They did have springs, in France in particular, the holes in their gums, so they would sort of hang the tooth on it.
I was looking at my granny the other day and I had a really good idea, OK? This is what I'm going to pitch when I go on Dragon's Den, is to create some dentures that clamp shut every time they sense racism coming out. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? As soon as you start... So you get through a lot of Christmas.
I've got nothing against them personally, but...
I think the word "but" would be the key, would be the trigger word. It would be, I'm not racist, but...
Yeah.
Teeth is the answer.
Well, yes, exactly.
I think they used teeth.
They did use teeth,
And
but
people
whose
used
teeth could they use?
Well, either... Did poor people sell their teeth?
Yes, poor people did sell
And
their
also,
teeth.
I think dead people.
Dead people, but a very particular kind of dead person. You are not allowed to rob a grave. But
Are we not?
Not a grave, no. So there are other places where you might... I know, it's disappointing.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
There are other places where you might find too many dead bodies of healthy young men, usually, who might have good teeth.
Battlefields.
Battlefields is the right answer.
Oh, how
what
depressing.
became known as Waterloo teeth? It became almost your patriotic duty, if you lost a tooth, to fit in that of a dead soldier from Waterloo. There were these scavengers who went around the battlefields, pulling out the teeth of the dead bodies and selling them back in barrels, and people would buy them and fit them into the holes where their teeth were. And
Barrels of teeth. How many people died in this battle?
Well, thousands died in
Barrels,
that.
wow.
Imagine.
And each head had 32 teeth in it. Yeah.
And the dead horses, their teeth were sent to the people from the Only Way is Essex.
Absolutely right. But right up until the American Civil War past the 1860s, they were called Waterloo teeth, even though, of course, that was, the Battle of Waterloo was in 1815, so it was, 45 years later.
There's a tourist attraction in country Victoria in Australia that's, it's called Casper's World Miniature, and it's all sort of a bit bonkers, but then you get to the end of it, and you walk into this room, and suddenly you're just in this room full of sculptures made out of human teeth.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
crazy things like a tooth fairy made out of human teeth, and a hamburger made out of human teeth, and a castle made out of human teeth. And the horrible thing is, because it's food, like, because you're looking at a hamburger, you sort of start to think, oh, I wonder what that would taste like. And then you think about teeth on teeth. It's very grotesque.
And this is in Victoria,
This
in
is
Australia?
in Victoria, in Australia. And then when we went through this exhibition, we're all quite disturbed, and we walked out through the gift shop, and there was an elderly man sitting there eating mashed banana because he had no teeth.
Oh, my God. I always find whenever I'm in Melbourne, I can't get the image out of my head when there was a terrible crime in the Yarra district or something or other like that. Victorian police were soon on the scene, and I picture these obtrunchious moustaches. Oh, no, then. You just can't help it. Victorian police just means something very particular.
Running.
Absolutely. There's a story you may have come across in the newspapers not that long ago about a Polish dentist. Does that ring a bell? A female Polish dentist?
She got revenge on someone by...
Her lover left her.
And she took out all his teeth.
Her lover left her and then went to see her when he had... Stupid idiot, went to see her when he had toothache, and she anaesthetised him and took all his teeth out. But apparently, it was in all the newspapers, and it's absolute bollocks. Can you imagine? Something in British newspapers that isn't true? No.
What she should have done is taken all the teeth out and then made a little hole in his scrotum and put them all in there. Just loose.
Of course.
And then sewn it up again.
I have.
Yes, that is a much better idea. I think we can all agree she missed a great opportunity.
This would have had a bag of teeth hanging around.
Oh. But you can have a look at this little device. What do you think that might be?
I think it's a piece of dental equipment, Stephen.
It's certainly a piece of dental equipment.
I pieced that together myself.
I need that more specifically.
I bet it's a tongue clamp or something.
No, it's not a tongue clamp.
Oh, is it for snipping open the scrotum to put the teeth in?
Behave yourself.
Well, yeah, presumably to yank something out. It looks like a Yankee out thing.
It's not a Yankee out thing.
It kind of crosses over and it's got those sort of cutting things. Is it for turning the upper lip into a fringe?
I think it looks like you might jam it in somewhere, open it up, and then you could put the tooth in.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's called the masticator. It's for people who had no teeth. You first chop your food up a little, and then you really mash it up. And so it's ready. You don't need your teeth to chew. It basically just gets your food into a soft pulp. That's it. Exactly. There was a very common belief in the... Ow! You see...
A load of teeth have fallen.
It was an extremely valuable exhibit in the British Dental Museum, and we're very grateful to them.
It's a rusty old tool.
You could use it on your apple.
I could, couldn't I, my lovely apple? I might do that. You're being very flirty, Jack. I quite like it. So, anyway... yeah,
nice thing to just tighten.
So, not for the first time this evening, I shouldn't wonder.
That's your masticator.
That's not your sphincter. It's your...
So, who's got noisy knees and a urine-soaked hairbrush?
Oh, who hasn't? The creaking knees is something that just happens to you.
Really noisy knees,
Sounds like a parent complaint. You know, like your knees go and then the kids peed on your hairbrush.
Well, that would indeed happen, but this is a very particular species.
My grandmother?
Again, we're returning
to
your
her.
grandmother's not coming well out of this programme, is she?
Yeah.
She's a racist
pissy granny.
Is it a bush baby?
No, it's not. It is a mammal. It's an ungulate you'll find in Africa, in the savannah. What kind of ungulates do we find in the savannah?
Richard Hammond.
Richard Hammond.
Clip springers, things like that.
Yeah, antelopes. It's a type of antelope.
Yes.
Called an eland, which you may have heard of, an eland.
An eland.
There it is, a fine specimen.
Can't see its hairbrush.
Its hairbrush is sort of the tufty little bit up the top, and the bigger and the maler they are, the bigger the hairbrush, which there it is, and they soak it in their own urine in order to face off other males, because it's all about fighting the other males for the right to mate and pass on your genes. And what you were talking about is your display.
Yes, I sometimes soak this in urine when I don't want to get in trouble.
That's its hairbrush, anyway, and it soaks it in urine, and this apparently is a big butch thing to do if you're an eland. But the other thing is it snaps its tendons over its legs like a guitar string, which makes a really, really very loud noise. And the thicker and the bigger the muscles of its leg, the louder the noise, and hence the more the chance it has of mating. Now, a lot of animals do make noises in order to attract mates in different ways.
I don't know any humans that get sort of mates by because sometimes when you get to a certain age, you get out of a chair and something makes a noise, and you go, "Was that me?" Something creaks.
Yes, it's a horrible.
It's a weird
thing.
snap.
Or if you squat and, for a low shelf in the library or something, to look at a book, when you stand up, there's a sound of sort of crunching gravel as your knees.
I don't know at what age you start going, "Oh."
Yeah.
When you sit into or get out of a chair,
yes.
That's a weird...
Well, that was a Billy Connolly point, wasn't it? Is when you shout to pick something up. So true.
I had my son when I was 38, and so he's 3 now, but he's grown up, so that when he bends down to pick stuff up, he goes, "Oh!" because that's what Mummy does.
Oh, that's perfect.
Mummy does it, "Oh!"
There you go.
Yeah, my little girl, and if you carry up the stairs, she goes, oh, so many stairs.
And you carry her.
Stairs. Just copying me. That was actually her first word.
I'm only 23 and I got depressed so much the other day because I turned down sexual intercourse with my girlfriend, and the reason that I gave is because I had heartburn. I'm 23, that shouldn't be happening. She said, I'll give you anything you want. I was like, some Rennie, quick.
You need PPIs, proton pump inhibitors. That's what
I offered her one of them as well.
Well, that is sad news as a 23-year-old. You really shouldn't be using that as an excuse not to have sex, to be perfectly honest. That's not good enough, no. I can recommend a diet for you. Come and see me. So, anyway,
I knew this would have happened.
Stop it.
It involves nuts.
Stop it, yeah. There's a new meaning to we shall march on Whitehall. Anyway. Who wrote The Cat in the Hat?
Dr. Seuss.
Oh! I'm afraid not Dr. Seuss, but Dr. Seuss. Seuss. He spelled S-E-U-S-S, and it's a Germanic name. His real name was Theodor Seuss Geisel. But there was a Dr. Seuss, and he did really propose something which is still held to be true today. And I wonder if you might guess what that is.
A scientific thing?
It is a very scientific thing, yes.
He doesn't look like he enjoyed it, though, does he?
He looked like a lot of Victorians. He does look a bit sombre and solemn, shall we say.
Jack's a proper beard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it physics, chemistry?
One that transformed the way we looked at the world, quite literally.
Glasses.
I was trying to stress not looked, but world.
Geology.
Geology. Yeah, he discovered by looking at rock formations and fossils, there was so many strange things in common with the way the different continents seemed to fit together. Was he the guy that did continental drift? Well, not so much continental drift, which he didn't quite get, but he had this idea that there was once one big supercontinent.
Gondwana-land.
Which he called Gondwana-land, exactly. He was the man who named it, and as you know, New Zealand was one of the islands that spun off from it. India, Africa, and you can see where South America and Africa fit together exactly like jigsaw.
And that photo was taken earlier, then?
It is quite a lot earlier, yes, millions of years earlier. And that's what Dr. Seuss did, and he was pronounced Dr. Seuss, as opposed to Theodor Seuss Geisel, who created The Cat in the Hat and Sam I Am and other such things. And his first children's manuscript story was rejected 27 times because he was told it had no moral. There he is, with his most famous creation, I suppose. And he tried different surnames. He tried, for example, Rosetta Stone. It's quite a good idea. And Theo Lezigue being Geisel backwards. But in the end, Dr. Seuss was the one that caught on. So, anyway, Dr. Edward Seuss is the man who first came up with the idea of the supercontinent Gondwana-land. What kind of glass does the Pope-mobile have in its windows?
Oh, probably the... Has he got the slidey kind so we can sell ice creams? I imagine it plays the ice cream van music. I'm not casting aspersions on the Catholic Church, but...
No, be very careful.
A stained glass.
Stained glass, that's a very good point.
It's tinted.
I love it.
Tinted.
Is it tinted? So, like, when they're all waving, everyone thinks that he's in there doing that, but actually he's cracking open some tin. He's like freaking
What else would you say about the glass?
Well, it's... You want us to say bulletproof, don't you? That's the thing, isn't it?
I wouldn't. Would I want you to say what?
Bulletproof.
Oh! Yes. I'm afraid we're being very technical with you. There's no such thing as bulletproof glass by any manufacturer or anybody else.
It cost me a fortune in my hand.
It's called bullet-resistant glass. They don't claim it to be bulletproof. 4 inches thick will do. It's layered with sort of vinyl and things in between, and it absorbs the shock of the bullet. But there's a really clever, which is one-way bullet-resistant glass, where you shoot into it and the bullet does that, but you can shoot out from the other side and it goes straight through.
Well, if that gets
Well, so
fitted
the Pope
incorrectly,
could fire
you've got
back.
one shot.
Really
They could put a gun up to it.
Possible.
It's because of the way the lamination is done. I can describe to you if you wish. It works because of the order in which the layers are assembled. The shock absorber layer is on the inside with the glass on the outside. That's the reason.
That would be great if you could be shot by the Pope. That would be... How exciting would that be?
Yeah. You can he's shooting a bit, yeah, you're going to hell, I've had a word.
He'd definitely do the sideways thing, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Just a matter of interest, how many popes does the Vatican have per square kilometre?
How many popes? Like...
Yeah.
buried or in storage?
No, actually, live, living popes.
1.
No. There's actually 2.27 recurring, because Vatican City is only 0.44 of a kilometre. So on the average would be per square kilometre.
Oh, well, I think we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The most annoying question ever asked. I think we've done it.
I understand your point of view. You're quite right.
Well, we weren't going to get it, were we?
No, you weren't. So anyway, how would you improve this plane here? How would you make it a bit safer?
Well, now...
Well, I'm no aeronautical engineer, but I can see a flaw.
Yeah.
Ryanair just get
can't see
They do, don't they? O'Leary would charge you for the extra air conditioning.
You get a cheaper ticket if you bring your own fuselage.
Do you know what I want to do when Michael O'Leary dies? I think what they should do is they should put him in his coffin and then build a grave that's slightly too small for the coffin to fit into. So it's just like that baggage claim thing that you have to try and put the baggage in. All his family can be trying to shove him in, and then when they can't, sorry, we're going to have to charge you extra.
Oh, there would be much cheering. Well, no, this was a rather cunning insight that when aeroplanes returned with, you know, battered and hurt like that one there, as you can see, has been pretty badly hurt. But it came back, and the crew survived. But the ones that didn't come back were hit elsewhere. If you're hit there, you can clearly survive. So spend the money on extra armouring on the bits where it wasn't hit.
And that's where its knees are.
And that's... and they're the fine 4 Merlin engines. It's good, isn't it? It's a clever insight, isn't it? It is quite cunning. So there you are. But now, we're going to close very excitingly with a jolly jape, which I like to do from time to time, which is to bring out a really extraordinary mechanism, a device. It's called the strandbeest. And if you know Dutch, you'll know that means...
Strandbeest.
Yeah. What
It means Shirtje Good Times, Def Leppard.
Yeah.
That's all the Dutch I know.
Strand is like English word strand, beach. And beast, as in hearty beast or wildebeest, is beast. Is beast, basically. So
a sand beast.
A sand beast.
So is this like a waiter that's done loads of tourists?
There's a man called Theo Jensen, an extraordinary artist, inventor, who has created this remarkable machine. Do you know about it?
It walks along.
It walks on the sand without any electronics or anything else like that, just powered by the wind. I mean, it's really extraordinary. This is some of the things it can do. No metallic or electronic parts, remember that. It can detect the tide coming in, walk away from the water, anchor itself by hammering a pin into the ground. That's what it looks like. If the wind gets too strong. It can even store up air in bottles when the wind is blowing and release it to keep itself moving when the wind drops. Lots of clips on YouTube, but you have to go to Holland to see them live on the beach. But through the magic of the next big thing in tech, which is 3D printing, where you can print an object out, this is a 3D printed object. It's entirely 3D printed. It needed no extra thing except to have the propeller put on the end.
Wow.
And this is a version of the Sea Beast. And instead of blowing, I'm going to use a little sort of electric fan, like so. There we go.
Wow.
Oh, sand beast.
Isn't that cool?
That's great.
And that was printed out.
But isn't that an amazing object?
Oh, it looks really
Tell me for your
spooky.
glasses.
I can't believe you got that from a 3D printer.
I know.
I sort of feel like this is going to be bluff. That can't be a real thing.
I promise you it's true.
So how does it work? Is it a block of resin? How does it...
It's basically lasers fusing powdered plastic together. Even though they consist of at least 76 separate moving interlocking parts, they emerge from the printer ready to operate without the need for further assembly, with the exception of the addition of the propeller.
No way.
That's absolutely right.
That is the future.
Isn't it amazing?
You want to make sure you hit the right number of copies.
Yeah,
Don't you? When you-
absolutely.
Oh, 12.
Oh, 12, it does take rather a
The
long
house is full
time.
of sand beasts. No, the sand beasts!
Presumably becoming commercially available. Now you can get a consumer 3D printer for about £1,600.
Although it's available on the QI website for $12.99.
I'm blown away by that.
I
It's
think we
amazing.
should let's hear it for this amazing machine. Brilliant. Really impressive. I love doing that. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's question, so please do join me now for the scoreboard. We have a clear winner with -5 points. It's Cal Wilson. Oh. And a highly creditable blue and dewy-eyed second with -24 is Jack Whitehall. It's crowded at the bottom. That's a very unfortunate phrase. With minus 45 in third place, Jimmy Carr.
Minus 45?
But 6 of the best behind on minus 51, Alan Davies. There you are. Thank you all very much indeed for watching, and that's all from Jack, Jimmy, Cal, Alan and me. Spend the rest of your lives being extremely good to each other. Good night.
Back in the world of big science here on BBC HD at 7 o'clock tomorrow with the science.